Hi, and welcome to this week's racing-based preview. We've got the Caulfield Cup coming up this Saturday, one of the biggest features of the Melbourne Spring Carnival, and I've got Rick Chapman on the other line to help me dissect the race and see if we can come up with a winner. So, Rick, how are you, mate?
I'm very good for a man of my habits, thanks. And yes, you're 100% right. It's a brilliant Caulfield Cup this year. They're always good, but I think this particularly is a good one because we have really strong form lines coming out of Japan, out of different parts of Europe, and of course different parts of Australia. So meld them all together and you've got one heck of a race.
Yeah, it is a really tough one. I found this hard to dissect, Rick. There's just form coming from all over the place, and with the internationals, you don't know how they're going to travel, acclimatise, how they're going to adapt to Australian racing conditions and tempo. So there's a lot of factors to come into play, Rick, and even with the Australian lot, you've got form coming from Melbourne and Sydney, which is usually the case this time of year. But it's a tough one to line up, but we'll do our best and see if we can find the winner.
We will indeed. You know, from a pure punting perspective, you should go very light. It's not a good race to bet on because it's just so hard. But ego gets in the way. We love racing, and so we will have a go. And I'm one. I'm going to have a go. I'm going to have a good go, to be honest, at Fame Game. I watched his Tenno show run. It was, well, let's just say phenomenal, to say the least. He should have won by 100 yards. And with the barrier draw coming out, he gets the one rails with Zach Purton aboard. I think he'll be travelling about 3 pairs back in about 5th or 6th position on the fence. And if he gets out, gets clean air at the top of the stretch, I think it's game over. I think this is an outstanding racehorse, Fame Game. And if anybody wants to go onto YouTube and look at the 2015 Tenno show, you'll see what I mean. It was a run that is simply better than anything else in the field. So I'm going for him to win. I think Grand Marshal will run a great race and run second. And Mongolian Khan is outstanding at 2,400 metres, and his run last week backed up the fact he's in rare form too. So that'll be my trifecta. But as good as the locals are, I think Fame Game with luck and running wins and wins comfortably.
Yeah, I do like Fame Game, Rick. I was all over him. That Tenno show run, anyone that saw it was jumping on straight away for the Melbourne Cup. And the thing I like about this horse is that his last 2 campaigns, he's come back and had a good lead-up run over a shorter distance and then won over 3,200 or longer at his next start. So as much as I like him and he had that flashing light on the way home in the Tenno show, I'm probably going to just watch this time, and I've already backed him several times for the Melbourne Cup, and I'll continue to do so. And he's probably going to shorten after a big run on Saturday. But you mentioned Mongolian Khan as well, Rick. I was a bit dirty tipping him last week in the Caulfield Stakes, and I thought he was a bit unlucky getting shuffled back, and he had to work around horses and really only just got warmed up in the last bit. As you said, 2,400 metres, he's unbeaten twice. I really like him. I think he's a standout of the locals. Although the other one I really liked as well was Set Square for Kieran Ma. Her run was really, really good last start. She finished behind Preferment and now meets Royal Descent 3.5 kilos better at the weights from finishing just behind her as well. I like the way that Kieran's set this up for this mare. 4th up from a spell. She's ready to peak. And I think if there's a danger to my top one, which is Mongolian Khan, I think it's Set Square.
Well, it was a terrific run last start, and there were terrific runs all over the place. Our Ivanhoe was a brilliant run, carrying a huge weight, although I don't like the fact he's got 17. And this race, Who Shot the Barman? Well, he's been screaming for a race of this nature. Royal Descent is so good, you have to have her. Rising Romance has come back better than ever, and she ran second in this race last year. So it's just a great race, and may even overshadow the Melbourne Cup this year. Just going back to Fame Game, why I like him, he's obviously a classed horse, but the pace, the tempo in this race will be a lot faster than it is early in the midsections than it will be in the Melbourne Cup. And he seems to relish a fast pace because he gets up on the bit and he stays up there in the top 6 or 7 and can sprint off that. So that's what I like about him. But it's just a brilliant card all day, and the Caulfield people need to be congratulated because Lizard Island looks hard to beat. Amicus looks very hard to beat earlier in the day, and I love the Sydney filly Honesta in the 3-year-old fillies race too. So I think we can win tomorrow on Saturday. I think we can win a lot.
Yeah, I'll probably go with multiples, to be honest, in the Caulfield Cup. I usually do with the Caulfield and Melbourne Cups, Rick. I find it easier to get a big collect going with the trifecta and first four and just going a bit wider. But, I mentioned we're talking about Fame Game. The other Japanese horse, Hoko Brave's he's got just as good a chance. He was only 1.6 lengths off in the 10-0 show. And apparently he's going to be better suited over the shorter trip. And the thing with these Japanese horses as opposed to the Europeans is they're used to running on firm and good ground, where the Europeans, most of them are going to prefer some sting out of the ground, which they won't get on Saturday.
It's 29 degrees anticipated in Melbourne for the next 3 days, and the track's going to be lightning fast. It's brilliant today on Thursday. I agree with your thoughts there, and I'm doing the same. I've already had a box trifecta. It's Fame Game, Grand Marshal, Rising Romance, and Mongolian Khan. That's my box trifecta, and of course I've tossed in Who Shot the Barman for the top four as well. So I've got 5 going for the first four and 4 going for the trifecta. But and those sort of things you've got to do, and you've only got to have $20, $30, and you'll get a lot of money. I do want Fame Game to win because I'm going to have him in a running double with Brook Road in the last race. He'll win by 100 yards.
Yeah, well, if you're after some easier profit, and I'll say easier, not easy, outside the Caulfield Cup might be the go. But like you said, ego gets in the way. We all want to pick the winner in the Caulfield Cup. So I'm going with Mongolian Khan over Set Square. And I really like O'Shea's horse as well, Horaki, for third, Rick. There'll be a wall of them there for the placings, and I'm just still halfway through my exotics piece for bettingpro.com.au, so I'm just going to give that maybe a couple more hours thought, and I'll get that up online later. But as for you, your Fame Game all the way?
Yeah, he'll be leading the charge in my star stable as well, and I'll make him the captain. And if he can win and Grand Marshal can run second, well, I'll clean up. I'll go to the front, the star stable.
Yeah, if you've got him as your captain, I'll probably get him in there as well now, Rick, just because he's going to be valuable in the Melbourne Cup too. And even if he can run a place, he's going to go up in value. So I think I'll be with you there. But I'll have Mongolian as my captain.
Very good. Well, let's go to battle on Saturday and just enjoy the thoroughbred experience.
As the Khans do, Rick, go to battle.
There you go. Yeah, well, there you go. Although we're not Mongolian or Pakistani, aren't they all Khans as well?
All right, mate. Well, hopefully we both have some luck. Hopefully we've steered the punters into a winner there anyway. It's going to be a tough race, and I wish everyone the best of luck on Saturday. Yeah,
me too. I'm going to Randwick, so I'm going to enjoy everything that Randwick has to offer. It's a good card too. Anyway, remember, punting is easy. Have fun, and good luck.